We do have all 10 in the server. We just have to wait for everybody to ready up, and we will get this single map on the way. The format for the Mountain Dew League is as follows, which is basically bans on both sides until the map is shrunk down to the last one that is remaining. So for the full rundown, I'll get to that shortly. We are now live with the knife round to choose your side, and in that meantime, I'll run you down your starting lineups. On the side of Legacy7, we have Animus, Chriso, Wow, Inject, Zeph, and Ren. And on the side of Chiefs ESC, we have Tux, Pex, Sterling, Malta, and Texter. A little bit of a shake-up in the old lineup for Chiefs, with Sterling coming in from the former Rises Raccoons lineup, and Texter coming in from Dark-Sided and then of Athletico. He had a very quick travel time, that young man. But now we are going into the opening round. Chiefs will be your defenders. Legacy7 will be your attackers. Incendiary and Flash on Malta. 3 members armored up and 1 kit and smoke on Tux. And your grenade man will be Animus, and the rest will be armored up. Animus having a smoke and a firebomb, which is very curious. Firebomb's already been expunged. And sitting on top of the silos. All of the glass that is above the A bomb site has been shot out by the Legacy7 squatters to not give away any tells. Sterling's really far forward and has dropped out of this, and that's put them on the back foot very early. Inject does have the bomb on his back, though, so if he can flat out breach the site, it could make things a lot easier, but Chriso Wow will have his head chewed off by Tux. Zeph will try to reply by getting Texter to be riding the pine for this round. So moving up to heaven, that being Inject. His right and his right hand man of Ren. The bomb will go down on the A site, which is a lot more than Legacy7 were probably hoping for after that opening pick, and now it's pretty much a stalemate. So he's trying to juke his way around. Malta and Pex sitting out the numbers now. Zeph is all there's left in heaven, and to heaven you will actually go, young man. Pex will put him down, and that will be the bomb defused. 3 survive. But all things considered, a good round for Legacy7, given they had the bomb down basically under their nose. They did have a strong position, but just got basically crushed in the end. And Legacy7 taking the sensible way and not forcing up into it after that bomb plant. They do have a tiny bit of utility, but only smoke will be for Inject. It'll probably be to feign an outside push. 2 MP9 to Clarion and 2 M4s for Chiefs. Utility as well. Tux letting the step will go to work, taking out 2. Animus will avenge him. Malta, the other MP9, will take out 2 more. And Animus trying to get the bomb down just while the commotion was up top. No dice. Stealing will put a cap on that, and that is 2. And that was clean as you would like by Chiefs. They couldn't have asked for anything better, really. Yes, one of the MP9s went down, but given the bolstering of the economy that is under, especially under Malta right now, because he's still at 4K and didn't have to buy much, so he can just either be the recon mule or just being the trader for someone. Full AKs and a little bit of utility for Legacy7 in the first going round. Chucked by T-Red. Tux by T-Red will take out Ren very early on. We're not even 15 seconds in. Still getting chunked down too. It's already going on outside. This has spotted Tux behind T-Red, but has thought better of it and decided to pedal back. Malta on top of the hut. He could end up Batmaning someone if he so chooses. Sterling trying to shoot through the grating, not to be, but multiple take out 2 with the MP9. Sterling will be taking out Inject as well, and golly, 3 alive. All AKs have been scavenged, and Chiefs off to a rolling start thus far. Did say a lot about Chris O'Wow and his pedigree, having been in a lot of high caliber teams, being an old Chiefs squad, Legacy squad, and having a bit of a drifter sort of personality. Maybe he's found a new home in Legacy7, who has a nice logo, I might add. It's a little bit of a tidbit. Malta's still sticking with the MP9, and Pex would buy one as well. Can't blame the man. Been running riot with it. He just adds another one to his tally by sitting Inject down. The tease from Malta just shutting the door in his face. So trying to one-tap someone, but it is no dice. So all that is left having a last out. Will take out Pex with the P250, but could not get that much more done. And we come to the first gun round. Ren's still having a goose egg at 0-4. Hopefully that gets popped this round. Chiefs definitely not showing their hand in the fact that they had just been pushed the absolute limit by their previous opponent, that being Sin Gaming. What's overtime on train? Hell of a way to start the season, isn't it? Hopefully that will either motivate them and not bring them down to the point of we should have closed that out earlier. Hopefully they don't dwell on it and they just carry on trucking. Tuck's very far forward. Baps sniffing out this A setup, but he's whipping all of his shots at the worst time. Zeph will kill up Malta executioner style and take out Texture as well. The A side has been completely penetrated. Tux has avenged one of his teammates by sending Inject to the bench, but the bomb will go down for Legacy7. And things are getting very interesting. Peck's getting a little toasty as well in the annex. Chris O'Wow will flatten a former teammate in Tux. 2 versus 4 for Chiefs. What will they aim to do? Peck's making a good way of it. See the legs of Animus as well and capitalizing on it by taking him out. Now it is square. 2 versus 2. The bomb is ticking down though. And now Chris O'Wow with another frag to his name has basically sealed the deal for Legacy7 in this round. The bomb will go off. Sterling will carry over his AWP, and Chris will carry over his weaponry and utility. That is a 1 on the board for Legacy7, and Ren not having a good time. The goose egg did not get popped that round. Hopefully this time, little man. Chief's still in good stead to buy up, but that wall that Malta put up with his MP9, it's gone now. It'll be a scattered buy if Chiefs lose this round while taking very heavy casualties. Texter making short work of it though, keeping an eye out outside and probably calling that out too. Tux definitely seeing the legs of the people crossing over. Inject will be dropped, as will Zeph. Poor Ren barely walking and now dead in the hands of Sterling. Now 1 versus 5 for Chris O'Wow. And after such a good round, it's almost a painful thing to sink into you. What can Chris do? Can Chris try to salvage things? Well, chunk Tux up quite a bit, but can he make any more work than that? 4-3 and it counts. The nade will send Tux to the grave, so it's 1 saving grace, but not much more. Malta will put him down and avenge the nade thrower. Now 5 for Chiefs and now 1 for Legacy and Legacy7. Excuse me. They both start with L. That's my excuse. Legacy7 are basically left hanging out to dry with no economy aside from a ton of P250s. And 1 being armored up, that being Chris, more likely to bring the economy into line. But there's not much of an economy to bring into light. It's all over the place. But square in the back once again, letting the MP7 do all the work for him. So getting chunked a little bit. Gets Malta and then a weapon out of the deal. But not a whole lot. 6 to go. Will Lucky7 just buy small? Probably with Chris at 5k, it'd be a bit of a crime not to. Looks like it's a power pistol buy. Couple of the Tech 9s. Oh, that's a bit of a way back machine. Head armor and smoke and 2 flashes for Chris O'Well. Armor as well for Animus. And I would like to remind you all that Ren is at a James Bond scoreline, a 00 and 7. And now it'll be 00 and 8. Okay, not catching a break in Animus. The mere formalities have played itself out. Now we've got 1 versus 4, and all to his name is a P250 and a little bit of armor. The armor might be worth hanging on to, though. Bomb down, so much time to bleed out. Will he consider it worth it? He's definitely using as much time as he can. Sterling will use that AWP, the 3-3 at Lapua, and put him out for the round. And that will be 7, and Chiefs are 1 away from winning out the half at round number 9. Go into another gun round. Lucky7 really looking to turn luck on its head and actually work in their favor for once. Prove that the name is not just for show. Techs are getting a 3-man straight up by T-Red, and that will, if not completely stun, it will very much strain the attack of Lucky7, and now Lucky7 has not a leg to stand on aside from Zeph. Zeph will take out Tux and Texter, so making a tiny bit of headway. That will definitely alert the rest of the Chiefs to try and pincer in on him and send him packing. Zeph getting a 3rd Malta, but Hex will avenge him. No more shenanigans for you. A 3k for Zeph, but that is not enough, and the pause has been called. If anything, if I were Unlucky 7, I would be calling the pause and trying to ease the jitters, as it were, because things are getting a little bit rough. If they weren't already, because Chiefs have already won out the half, no question. 3 of the Chiefs players are in 5 figures, so they've got nothing to worry. They have to worry about sort of bleeding the Chiefs' economy. But what can they do? Is their T side not really up to snuff? Lots of questions that need to be considered and perhaps answered in the next couple of rounds. We do have the quick pause and subsequent. At least judging from their economy, it'll either be a eco or a very scrappy force by poor Ren, yet to get a frag to his name. We're going into round number 10. Maybe needs a friend named Stimpy to sort of bring him into the line. Maybe not. Current standout so far. Everybody seems to be on the side of Chiefs ESC. They are all fragging as a unit. The only real outlier is Malta, and even then it's not by much, with 11, 10, 2 on 8, and 1 on 7, so there's not much to really disconcern there. They're very unified on that front. Looks like guns are being tossed around on the side of Lucky 7, so it might be a force up. It's a pseudo force buy, as it were. It's got a couple of Deagles, a couple of PC-50s, a CZ, a couple of chunks of armor, and nades on Animus. 3 bits of armor now. Head armor for Chris Wow and armor, just normal armor with no helmet for Zep and Ren. Full utility for Chiefs though. So they have to force Chiefs to exude that, but Pex will throw a Kobe and chunk Zeph off a little bit. And Ren being turned into a toasted marshmallow, getting a firebomb thrown at him at radio. Squeaky smoke nade coming out. Aiming just to get the bomb down or just making the way to the lower side. Pex at ramp being a stronghold so far, but Ren will break the goose egg, taking out Pex. And a shot whiffed by Sterling. This could result in a bomb plant on the lower side, which is exactly what Legacy7 were hoping for. 4 on the lower side. Tux is there to stop it. We'll take out 1, but will be avenged by Animus. Malta jumps in. The bomb will go down, but Malta will get 2, and Texas will clean up the scraps. Legacy7 get exactly what they were after. Two frags to their name and a bomb plant to bolster their fledgling economy. A 9th round for Chiefs, but perhaps a first sign of life for Legacy7. We will wait and see in the next couple of rounds. They do need it now more than ever. And to go around the grounds for this week's games, Tainted's previous game, and they had just done a doubleheader. Tainted 2-0 at the moment. And Sin and Order getting their first wins on the board. Full swing. Hopefully the first of a winning gun round. Still trading 1 for 1. Animus really wanted to make a go of it. We'll take out Texter. 1 behind the smoke being Tux. Being toasted but is still alive. The bomb will go down. And now the upward swing. Brand has doubled his frag count. Taking out Pex. Now a 2 versus 4 for Chiefs. And just like that, with a what some would call a blunt force play, just running it out there. And just running at people. Animus catching Sterling completely unawares and completely blind. We'll take him and his orb. Thank you very much. And now Tux in a 1 versus 4. And Tux has been found out. Legacy7 are very angry and very annoyed that they are only on 1 round. Tux will take out Zeph and Ren. Legacy7 cannot afford to throw more bodies at him. And Tux will take out 3, despite getting a winning effort. That will force a lot of rebuys and perhaps leave Legacy7 in a lot of trouble in the foreseeable future. It looks like they will be able to steady the ship with a buy, but if they lose this, so well, I'll have to share the wealth as it were and just throw money at him. And by money, I mean weapons. A straight blunt force play from the looks. Chiefs and Malta, Pex, and Texas are having none of it. Inject will take out Pex, but even with Texas on only 12 HP, it's looking like an already uphill battle. The bomb is on the back of Inject, though. I'll be curious to see where he moves himself to. It's kind of standing outside of Squeaky, where a lot of the manpower is for Chiefs. Doc's moving forward in towards radio. Inject knowing he needs to have him and his teammate in Ren recoil and perhaps restructure himself a plan of attack. They do have a lot of time. They're going in on 50 seconds. Have a lot of time to sort of figure out where their bearings are and where they want to go next. Moving down to 35 seconds. Sterling is looking towards the stairs. Will drop the bomb carrier of Inject, and now Ren in a 1 versus 4. And Sterling looking right at him and letting it rip and dropping Ren to the ground. And that will be double digits for Chiefs. We go to 10 and 2, which is also a hockey stick position. A 10 for Chiefs and a 2 for Legacy7, and we go into round number 13. And sharing the wealth indeed. Chris Howard dropping a couple of weapons. A UMP 2 Tech 9s, a CZ, and an AK. A Licorice Sword Spy if there ever was one. Ren will headshot Tux, but will be burned alive in turn. That may be the only frag that Legacy7 will get in the round. Chris Wow versus 4 and now 3 thanks to the Tech 9, but Malta has bomb control and control of Chris Wow's soul as well by killing him and stealing his powers. Actually, that's not how CS works at all, but just roll with it. We are at Legs11 for Chiefs ESC and a paltry 2 on the terrorist side for Legacy7. If this were the nuke of old, excuse me, the nuke of very old versions of CS, this could be acceptable if they on the attacking side won the next 2 rounds and ended up being at 4 and 11, but that is not acceptable anymore. Legacy7 will have to be kicking themselves after this effort, to be quite frank. They're just going through the motions of this round. The Chiefs just cleaning up all the frags that they would want, and Legacy7 just throwing themselves at their opposition and just wanting to go to the final round of the first half of Nuke between Chiefs and Legacy7. Will luck be on their side? Obviously, the T's throwing everything they can. Utility about as good as you could ask for, really. Hex moving very aggressively out towards radio and reception. We'll take out Zep and backpedal. But number 4 Ren will get rid of him. Nice flare thus far. That very forward position got not as much as he probably would have liked. Ren will also take out Malta, so things are looking a little bit more promising for Legacy7. Will be up to Tex to hold. He'll only be able to get 1 to his name. Tuck's looking to back him up. We are down to a duel in amongst that flurry. It is a 1 versus 1 between Sterling and Animus. And does Sterling know that the vent's been popped? No, he does not. Animus is on the lowest site now, moving towards it. Hopefully not having a sound cue to trigger, but the bomb will go down on the lowest site. Sterling is now wise to it. It's up to Sterling what he does next. There goes the vent on the lower side. Animus was looking for it, found it, and ripped him out. And that is a 3rd now for Legacy7 after that duel. And at the change, it'll be 12 to Chiefs and a 3 to Legacy7. And if you are the Legacy7 squad, Chris Wow and the 4 Musketeers, then what would you think after that round? You would be a little bit miffed about how that went. They did get close, but poor Ren, until the very end of that round, that half, excuse me, was in a very rough trot. He did not have a frag to his name until round number 9, if memory serves. So hopefully he can flex his prowess and show what he's got on the counter-terrorist side. We're going into the second half of this map between Legacy7 and Chiefs ESC. We are on Nuke. 4 pieces of armor and a kit and smoke on Animus. And on the side of Chiefs, we have nades on Techstar and armor on everyone else. And the squeaky door has been blown out. They're aiming to blood force their way out of the A site. Inject and Chris and Zeph will fall at the hands of the Chiefs, and just like that, it dissolves like a Barocca in a glass of water. And the Ren that is left, and Ren ran out of time, ran out of luck, and ran out of health. That is a clean round for Chiefs ESC on the 2nd pistol round. And what do you do? Looks like Legacy7 are forced. They've got nothing to lose. So really, why not? And flashbangs too. We're turning this into a rave. 2 sets of flashes. One on rend and one on inject. And the curious bit is the Galil that is on the back of Texter. So wow, and Zeph! And just like that, in the blink of an eye, Legacy7 flipped the entire script. And that frostbite will pay absolute dividends with the weapons scavenged and 4 staying alive off of that one. And Chiefs, despite having the buffer, will be a little bit mad at how that all went down. They are clearing the coffers though, with 4 on pistols and 1 on a SMG. So this could end up being a tit for tat type deal. You win 1, then I win 1, then you win 1, and so on. So Inject's having none of it. Neither is Animus. And poor Animus had just fallen off the face of the earth and not having a care in the world, but that does not matter that much, but Sterling be the only one standing. Getting a crispy 1 dig onto Ren. Let me get his head clean off. Putting the action in 50 Action Express, but now he has 3 more CTs to find. And the bomb being down has made that a lot more difficult because now the CTs know that he has to, that Sterling has to go to them and not the other way around. Inject too smart for it. Just that Sterling out. Actually laid him out according to the ragdoll, and that will be 5 now. Legacy7, that was a bit too early to call, but definitely on an upward swing compared to their previous efforts on the T side, which may show to a lot of their opponents that Nuke's T side for Legacy7 at least is not up to par, and may either lead to a ban or some good exploitation of that by future opponents, but we will wait and see. Just a mere formality for Legacy7 at this point. And the Sterling is left standing. Tux has gotten afraid of his name, but perhaps it forced a rebuy, yeah, but it's quite crucial looking at their money. Not wanting a rebuy would be quite a detriment if they have to rebuy any CT to be fully equipped, but that will be 6 now for Legacy7, and we go into the first gun round of the second half. This is possibly the most even fight yet, with full rifles and an AWP on inject, and no AWP for Sterling on the T side, which is interesting. Perhaps with Chiefs still bringing 2 new members into the fold, that being Sterling and Texter. They're not feeling confident in a T side AWP just yet. Moving towards outside. In 3 moving towards it, towards secret. Inject will be there to greet them. We'll take out 1 in Tux. And a lot of the Chiefs players are stranded in secret with Inject there and willing to greet them. This is not going well for them thus far. We're going another afraid of his name. A 5-on will go out, perhaps send him back. It's Because now Inject is in the site proper. The doors to the B site will be blown away. Malta is aiming to sort of steady the ship and will take out Chris. Oh wow. Bomb will be dropped. Sterling will avenge his fallen comrade in Texas by taking out Zep. Now would you look at that, after all the calamity at B, the bomb will go down above that site on the A site, and Sterling planting it right underneath their nose, and it's moving up towards them. Malta will be there to greet them. Thank you very much for your free prize. And just like that, Malta and Sterling will hold strong and bring Chiefs to 14 to the 6 of Lucky 7. The side will be able to buy, but it will be very shady because a couple of the members of the CT side are below 6k. Yes, they are lacking in a lot of utility as a result. But the Orb of Inject will still be in play. And now we have an orb duel between Inject and Sterling. Sterling quite the performer on the AWP, as evidenced by his previous episode on Riotous. Texter will move outside and will take out one, but Inject will let the Terror side know, yeah, we've still got an orb here. Watch where you stand. Towards the lowest site. Ren will be there to greet them. Ren will get one, but Pex will shut him up. Right, quick. Tucks above the site. Pex putting the bomb down. There goes the digits. Chris O'Well contamination will throw a nade towards Pex and chunk him down to 54. So the retake starting at a bit of a stalemate for Lucky 7, but the health advantage is in their favor. But Tucks moving out towards the vent, maybe catching Chris O'Well completely unaware. That's exactly what he will do by taking him out. Now injected his AWP versus Pex and Tux to prevent Chiefs from going to match point. Shot will ring out and whiff completely. Oof. Inject will leave the party gift onto Pex, preventing him from going to the contamination position, but Tux will survive and carry the M4 over, and that will bring Chiefs to match point on Nuke to the 6 of Lucky 7. And if you're Lucky 7, you just throw everything you can at it and hope it sinks. A little bit of utility as well, especially on Inject with the full nade set. Partial nade set for Ren and Chris O'Well, and all there is armor and pistols for Lucky 7 to conclude. A blunt force play on the top site. Zeph and Animus will keep it square until Texter will take out Animus, one of the offenders. The A side above is being completely seized, and Ren is being the Overwatch though, sitting in heaven. Being punched in by Texter. Now Lucky 7 are on the clock to stay alive, and the big orb of Inject has been silenced by Sterling, and Tux will tuck them all into bed and say good night. That is your final, ladies and gentlemen. There's 16 rounds to 5 victory over Lucky 7 for Chiefs ESC, and that will cap off a night for ESEA's Mountain Dew League and their 27th season. In other games this evening thus far, we have had only one result so far. We have, aside from the Chiefs' previous effort, that being 1917 to Sin, we have also had Atletico going over Trident 16 to 12. But that is it so far for Mountain Dew League's 27th season here in Australia. And that will conclude our coverage here on CappingTV. Thank you all very much for watching. My name has been Justin, aka Subways. We hope you have enjoyed the show. Good luck, good night, and happy fragging.